What's up, guys? I got the keys here, back with another video. So if you're seeing this video, I'm sure that you have recently awakened to yourself, to your God nature, to your spiritual side, to who you really are, okay? And typically I wouldn't make a video like this, but this is what Spirit is calling me to do today. So I want you to know that I know this may seem like a lot right now, and even if you have recently awakened and you're in that blissful kind of state, it is going to probably drop at some point, and things aren't all sunshine and rainbows, and this shit gets rough sometimes. Let's be real, because you're still learning, you're still mastering yourself. And just because you've had an awakening doesn't mean you won't have more. So right now what Spirit is telling me is that take this at your own pace, and to be patient with yourself, okay, as you go along, as you learn things, as you start to acknowledge the synchronicities and the way that God is talking to you, and follow your highest joys and excitements, and follow those highest calls, the best thoughts that you can have, right? Anything that is of a lower negative thought, right, is not from source, okay? That is from your ego. And that's the thing that's telling you, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't have that. Oh, I can't, So this is what usually blocks the things from being manifested, because, at first you're telling source, I want this thing. I want this car. I want this money. I want this job. But then you have 7,000 other thoughts right after that coincide with what you just said, right? So anyways, this is all process of you changing your beliefs, changing your identity, changing who you are, and letting go of your old ego, right, to build a new one, okay? As I've said before, if you really got rid of all of your ego, which is not common, it is possible, but this would require you to pretty much be separate from everybody, okay? Because to be in full source self, you would just be manifesting everything with ease, and you would basically, be called a witch or a sorcerer, or whatever, like Jesus. And not that those things are bad, right? But they're put in a negative light in today's time, and ultimately, this journey is going to be ups and downs. You're gonna have friends fall away. You're gonna have jobs fall away. You may have sickness, etc. Going through your DNA upgrades and stuff like that, and the shit gets rough, man. For real. I know I said in my last video how I've been going through a sinus infection, and I really do believe that this is something that's being changed within me, right? It's telling me to rest, telling me to relax, chill out. And I wasn't able to really make videos during this time, and I feel like, that was Spirit telling me, hey, let's just relax for a little bit. Let's just chill out, and, you don't need to worry about abundance and all this, because it's already here for you. And relaxing doesn't take that away from you. So I want you to know that you are held, and you are guided, you are protected. You don't need to worry about any of these things. There's no need to protect yourself. There's no need to do any of this stuff, right? Now, protecting your energy is one thing. Don't obviously have discernment. Don't give it to things that aren't serving you. But at the same time, there's really nothing to protect from, because anything that could harm you really wouldn't harm you, if you know what I'm saying. And so it's important to stay on your path and keep going. Just keep trusting in yourself, trusting your intuition. Okay. The feelings you get, your feelings are your biggest indicator of where you should be going, right? If it does not feel good, if it does not feel right, do not do it and do not go towards it. Okay. You will slowly learn this as you go. If you have a thought and it does not feel good when you're thinking about it, stop thinking about it, change your thought, and, switch to the next one. Like, what is the opposite of that thought? Okay. So, like, if you have a negative thought about, let's say, paying a bill, and you're like, oh, I got to pay this bill. I don't have the money for that, blah, blah, blah. Well, how about instead, I'm paying this bill and I'm happy to pay this bill and I get service in exchange for this bill, and the person that I'm paying the money to gets to use that money to spend themselves. Okay, so something like that. But all in all, this path is worth it, and so are you. So trust in yourself and know that you are here for a greater purpose than what you may be seeing right now. And I promise you, everything comes together just as it needs to. And you really can be, do, or have anything, right? And I think that's the most important thing to remember, is that when you know you are source energy, you can create anything, because your God energy lives within you. So source lives within. So if source lives within and source can create anything, and you are one of God's highest creations, right? This means you are the creator of your life. And I know that can be hard to accept, because you're like, oh, I would never choose some of this stuff that I've been through, to experience, blah, blah, blah. But in some way you did, because it's all about where your thoughts, your mind, and how you're feeling, how is all this stuff connected, right? And you'll start to notice it as you go along, where you created those things in the past. And it really does. It hurts a lot. And you're like, damn, so I really did everything to myself. And in a way, yes, because not only did you invite those things in by thinking about them and focusing on them, but the person, or the thing that happened to you, right, was also attracted to it, right? So it's like that person is also you, right? There is no other but you. So even though they may look different on the outside, really it's you on the inside. So I know that can be hard to visualize or conceptualize, but I promise you'll start to get it as you go, right? And you'll start to learn about the vibrational reality of life, right? And that everything vibrates at a certain level of frequency. And so that creates light, right? Everything is light sound, okay? That's how you could explain it. So nothing is really solid, and this is more like a holographic hologram, right? So I've said this before, like, I don't like saying that the world is not real, even though in a way that's true, right? But it's more or less projected light, okay? And so everything is not really solid, and the only reason that you feel you're able to grab something or touch something is because it pushes against your magnetic frequency. So when you touch somebody, what you're doing is actually pushing against their energy, and that's why you feel it, right? But in reality, you're actually just touching yourself, because you are the same energy. Everything is connected. I mean, think about it. The trees are grounded into the ground, right? Animals don't leave the ground. They don't, except for birds. But birds are connected too. So it's all one thing, guys. Like, this is all one energy, right? One mind, one body, one soul. And even though we can't really see that in 3D reality, right? In the higher realities, we do see that. And we feel that not only. the higher and higher you get, the more and more it becomes light and more light and more light and more light. So, but yeah, so just stay in your heart, right? And, use your mind in a powerful way to create and to imagine. And I promise you, you will start to get this. You'll come across more videos. You will, you'll start seeing the numbers, the repeating numbers, etc. I don't like to go into that too much because I think people can get lost in that, right? They are a great guidance system, but, it's all in what you're thinking at that time when you see those numbers. So, and that can be hard to catch sometimes. But all in all, the journey is worth it, and you will find your way, okay? So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one, and have a good one. Peace.